Number 5. There's a monster that seems to be talked about in pretty much all of Southeast Asia. It has a woman's face, a long tongue, it flies, and it only has a head with its entrails showing. They are called differently in different regions. Krasue from Thailand, Ap from Cambodia, Manananggal from the Philippines, or even Babalan from Brunei. Of course, there are small variations of their stories in different regions, but what is sure is that they are dangerous. This monster, they prey on humans. They really like to eat humans' internal organs like the heart, stomach, and liver, though their most favorite would definitely be fetuses. That's why pregnant women, right before or during labor, is the most vulnerable, as their babies might just be eaten and them left to die. There are stories of how the monster would disguise itself as a midwife, gaining people's trust until someone is in labor. As you can probably deduct by now, yes, they are human. At least, some believe they are black magic users with blood and internal organs as their source of power, or a black magic user that got cursed into being the monster. This monster only comes out at night, detaching its head from its body. While they fly off to hunt, their body is then left at home or hidden somewhere safe. That is their weakness, their bodies. If the head can't return to its body, it's pretty much dead. Number 4. Have you ever heard of a female ghost that wears a white dress? Surprisingly, that description of a ghost is pretty common around the world, and Southeast Asia is no exception. There's the Pontianak in Malaysia and Brunei, Capirosa in the Philippines, and Sundal Bolong in Indonesia. Other than their appearance, the other common thing between them is how they died and why they became a vengeful ghost. The backstory usually starts with a pregnant woman who died either during pregnancy or during childbirth, usually murdered or treated badly, resulting in their death. The ones in Brunei would usually hang about under or on trees. They would be standing or they would fly towards whomever that saw them. There's 2 ways to know that they are around. 1, if you suddenly smell the smell of frangipani, which turns into some horrible stench. And 2, when you hear their signature laugh, which sounds a bit like this. or something like that. Yes, he. If you hear this laugh, but not see the ghost, it's definitely around. The louder the sound, it means it's farther from you. But if you hear the laugh getting softer and softer, it definitely means it's getting closer. Number 3. In Southeast Asia, there are folklore creatures known as the Naga. This is probably from Hinduism and Buddhism, which influenced a lot of the culture, beliefs, or even the language of the people in Southeast Asia. Though the name is the same, descriptions of the creature is different in different places, but the core of the creature is pretty similar throughout. It's serpent-like, and it usually has something to do with a body of water, either the sea, lake, or river. Let's talk about the one from the Philippines. The Naga in the legend is called Bakunawa. It is described to have a big mouth, has a red tongue, has whiskers like Shenlong in Dragon Ball, and 2 pair of wings along its serpentine body. From the legend, the Naga was the reason why there are eclipses. In olden times, the Filipino people believed that there were 7 moons in the sky. The Bakunawa ate all of them except for the one that we see today. There's a few different versions as to why he ate the moons. I talked about one of it in one of my Filipino folklore video, so here is another version of the story. The Bakunawa was amazed by the moons, amazed by its beauty that it just wants to eat them. So it rose from the ocean and swallowed the moons one by one. The people were getting worried. They started banging on pots and pans to scare the Bakunawa from eating the last one. Some even tried playing soothing music to get the Naga to fall into deep sleep. So maybe the Bakunawa just got bored of eating moons, or what the people did actually worked. Either way, there's still 1 moon in the sky. Number 2. Southeast Asia has a lot of influence from Hinduism and Buddhism. Their mythical creatures are pretty common as well. There's a majestic bird that was believed to roam the sky, and that bird is called Garuda. The Garuda is believed to be a giant bird, probably bigger than airplanes, as stories of them always involves them casting a big shadow on the ground by blocking the sun with its body. Though in some beliefs, the Garuda are half man, half bird, just like a tengu from the Japanese folklore. Number 1. This folklore involves the forest spirits called Orang Bukan. I have explained what this creature is in a video about forest spirits a while back, so you can check that video out later if you want. This folklore came from Malaysia, specifically Malacca. The story starts with a mountain called Mount Ophir, or in their native language, Gunung Ledang. In the mountain, there were rumors that said a beautiful princess of the Orang Bukan had sworn to never get married. Of course, men, especially the type that wants what he can't get, were intrigued. That included the Sultan of Malacca at the time. The Sultan at the time already had wives and kids, but he still wanted her. So, he sent a group of his finest warriors to go and propose to the princess. Seeing as how she was a forest spirit, this was not an easy task. When the warriors got to the mountain, there seemed to be a barrier of wind. Some of them were left behind, while some managed to plow through just to be stopped by more obstacles like thick bamboo cover. But after a certain point, they reached a beautiful garden where they saw 4 beautiful women having a great time. Tun Mamat, one of the warriors, called out to them and told them about their quest. The women listened, and then they suddenly vanished into thin air. But that night, an old woman with a bent back and a cane appeared before one of the warriors. So the old woman told them that the princess sent her with a set of demands. If the Raja really wanted the princess, he would need to fulfill these demands. First, build a gold and silver bridge that would connect Gunung Ledang with Malacca. Then, prepare 7 trays of the hearts of mosquitoes, 7 trays of the hearts of mites, a vat of betel nut juice, a vat filled with virgin maiden tears, and a bowl of the Sultan's crown prince's blood. Hearing this, it's pretty obvious that the princess made impossible demands because she didn't want to get married, and sure enough, on hearing these demands, the Sultan was a bit taken aback, though he did say he could definitely make all those demands happen, except for getting the blood of his prince, saying that that was just too much. Thus, no wedding happened, and they went back to their own lives. The end.